and hello, Frank. So if we could turn our attention to sort of relaxing, turning our attention to the body and sort of relaxing as presence, sort of sinking into being. Notice the breath. No need to do anything. As a presence, as that which we are, all is well. You don't need to do any effort to be. You already are this aware presence. The peace of being is already that which you are. It's not something that you need to seek or discover. Rather, do not hold on to anything. Simply remain unknowing. Remain as you are. When you identify yourself as anything, as a man, a woman, a mother, father, son, daughter, you limit yourself via this identification. And you will experience yourself as this person which you imagine yourself to be. Notice how right now in your experience, everything appears to you effortlessly. whatever thought appears to you, whatever bodily sensation appears to you, it appears to you innocuously and effortlessly. You are there as the presence, as this awareness, undisturbed, unperturbable, unaffected. But as soon as you identify yourself with the body-mind, it's a different story altogether. You may experience concern about your image, about your health, the health of the body, the image of the body, some image, which is just a passing thought, empty passing thought. But because of the identification, this empty passing thought has a great impact. You feel that something is happening to you. You feel that you are vulnerable. While in fact, as consciousness, as the reality which hears these words, you are this transparent, aware presence that is neither male or female, neither rich or poor, healthy or unhealthy. Like in this moment, you hear these words without needing to refer to the past or the future, without the need to resolve your past traumas or in this moment, it's a fresh moment of presence. Which is uninterrupted when you pay attention to the stream of presence. You find it is uninterrupted. And that this awareness permeates your entire experience, every aspect of it, every tiny bit of it is permeated by awareness. Awareness being I awareness. Which has no location, and yet you find it everywhere. It has no particular form, and yet you find it throughout all forms. As everything you perceive, whether it's a sensation, a thought, a perception, everything you perceive via this awareness, via presence. Each moment provides all what is needed. There are no missing parts, no missing pieces. Nothing too much and nothing lacking. It is not possible to remove or add anything to your experience. In spite of thought saying otherwise, every moment is complete. So you can completely relax in this moment, in each moment. Because there is nothing missing and nothing that does not belong. You can surrender yourself completely, like a bird that jumps off a branch and somehow flaps its wings and magically lands on a different branch. The thought of jumping off this branch arises to you, may appeal to you. As it appeals to you, you are flying. It may not appeal to you, and you may not fly. That is the freedom of consciousness. Because as the bird, which is part of the totality, so are you, part of that same totality, part of the cosmic realm, part of the earth, the air, the galaxies, the wind, the sunshine, the breath, gravity. It holds together. It holds itself. holds you. It holds the bird in its flight. When you need to be a mother, you are a mother. When you need to be a daughter, a son, a father, you are a daughter, a son, a father. Just as it is called upon you in that moment, that instant moment of presence. But you don't need to carry along the stamp of being a mother, a father, a son, a daughter. It is that same non-dual universal reality that appears as a volcano, a volcanic eruption, that appears as the sunshine over the surface of the pond, that appears as the wind, that appears as hearing these words, that appears as breath, indivisible, undivided. Within that entire realm of unicity, of uninterrupted wholeness, nothing is separate. There is nothing that is particular in the totality of being. It is all particular. It is all universal. It is all intimately interconnected. So you can be a bird when you're a bird. You can be a snail when you're a snail. You can be the wind when you are the wind. You can be the raindrops or the sunshine. How could anything be apart from you except if you somehow imagine and believe that you are a part? When you identify yourself with some form, some object, you separate. An imaginary separation, which triggers within you the unhappiness, the sense of lack, the worry, and the concern about whatever it is that you're identified with, your body, your life, your money, your family, your children, whatever you identify with, which is an erroneous separation, overlooking our true nature as this seamless, aware presence. So if there are any questions, please make sure you unmute your mic, and welcome to turn on your video. And so any questions?
Magdi, I believe Mina unmuted herself. I don't know.
Yes, I did.
Hello, Mina.
Hello, Magdi.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. At least I could join you. I planned it a long time ago, yes. And now I did, and I'm very happy. It was very, very beautiful, this contemplation. And it's, for me, it's all very clear inside. When you speak like that, it's like, I always know this. But from this knowing to the practice in real life, for me, it's also a path. And I would like to be fully inside, and that this surrendering happens really fully and not partially, like that. Yes. And I don't even know what to question, but it's at the one side, I know this is the only way. There is nothing else. And all that we believe here is a dream and not real. But at the same time, I'm caught in this unreality. Mm-hmm. And I also react. I am in love. All these things are happening also. And
yes, yes.
And it's really, for me, important to make this shift fully, not half. I know that 99% is not enough.
Yes.
It has to be 100.
Yes, that's good. Yes. True. Yes, Mina. So there is, of course, the understanding. The understanding is that I refers to consciousness, not to the body mind, not to Mina, the name that your mom and your dad gave to the baby body that over time keeps growing up. So Mina is the name of the body, you see, but I is this aware presence, the reality of consciousness. As an important understanding. And then what's really beautiful is that there is life. Life is how we sort of confirm, and also how we establish our understanding and deepen our understanding and make our understanding to be alive, is living. So there is a part of in our life where we are living the understanding, and at some point the understanding is living itself in our life. So every experience that you have, whatever it is that happens in your life, is something that appears to you. Whatever it is, a feeling, a memory, a sensation, everything. appears to you. It appears to you like right now you're hearing these words. You know, it just appears effortlessly. It's sort of a cosmic, you know, expression. Everything that happens in your life is similar in that it's all a cosmic expression. And sometimes we feel that no, it's something that I am doing. It's something that Magdi, I'm doing. And so what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? You see? And then yes, we get into the thinking about the body mind, you see. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing? What do I need to do? Maybe I need to understand something or whatever. And so we remember again and again and again that everything that occurs arising in our life is God's doing. It's a cosmic event that's appearing to us. We are not as something in the life. We're not like right now. This is appearing to you. You are not inside something. I mean, that may be some idea that I am inside something, but in fact, in your experience, everything is unfolding to you, appearing to you. So we are habituated to refer to a personal doer. And as soon as we have a reference to a personal doer, then we enter into right and wrong. Am I doing the right thing, the wrong thing? Am I getting better? Am I getting worse? And also, it's not just it's like we also identify with a group, with maybe a family, with a tribe, with a religion, with whatever. And then are we doing the right thing? It's the same thing, whether you're identifying with yourself as this person or with your family or whatever it is you're identifying with. It's as if it makes you go inside the experience while the experience is appearing to you. You are never inside an experience. The experience is appearing to you. So your love and your interest in 100% is very, very beautiful. It's very beautiful. This love for 100% is God's love in you, through you. It's not your personal love. It's being channeled through you. You did not decide to love truth 100%. You just perceive that it is 100% that I love, and that which you perceive is not your own doing. It's not the result of your own brain. It is God's, or it's the cosmic universal reality that is saying, here I am the goal, I am the goal. So because that is appearing to you, that means you are getting cosmic help. Because the cosmos is appearing to you, is telling you, okay, Mina, it's 100%. So it's so beautiful that you have that message that's coming to you, that it is 100%. So in our life, we have sometimes a narrative, a story about our life. And in the story, there is a judgment. Many, many times there's a judgment. But in fact, our life is just this moment. It's this, everything else is a thought, is a narrative, it's a story. It may be helpful, in a practical sense, it is helpful, but it is not helpful in understanding truth, in understanding reality. The narrative is not helpful for the being awareness. Being awareness, being presence, God's being, universal being, does not need a narrative. The narrative is for the body-mind. I need to visit my mom. I haven't seen her in a while, and I saw her last Wednesday. She's not feeling too good. I'm going to call her today. And it's whatever. There are useful, very, very intelligent and harmonious narratives about the body-mind. But there is no narrative about truth. Truth is narrative-free. No future, no past. It is complete into itself moment by moment. And that is where the 100% is. The 100% is not in the narrative. The person doesn't get enlightened. There is no enlightenment for the person because there is no, the person is a fiction. Fiction. Yeah. So when the narrative arises about what I need to do and I'm not 100% and so on and so forth, it is a convincing narrative. At that moment, it is, this narrative is catching your attention. They say, yeah, I'm 98%, you need to be 100%, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's the narrative, yes. But there is also being. And being is narrative free. It's actually, it can never be anything but 100%. Being is 100%. It's 100%. 100%. And being is available to you 100% because you is being. You is being. So being that you are, the being that you sense I am, is that 100%. Being is 100%. Now, it's not an experience of good, and it's not a personal experience as you experience a pleasure or you experience a good meal or you experience a good company. It's more than that. It is the reality of all experiences. Every experience has being. It is being that is taken on the form of this experience. Being is not an experience. So we have to be careful because we are habituated in our thinking to seek an experience or to seek a state or to seek a certain way of being. Being right now, as you are, has no issues. There is no issues right now in being. Right now, you are, I am, and I don't know what I am. It doesn't matter the words about I am this, that, I'm feeling like, no, just the I am. I am doesn't matter what it is. You see, it's just the isness of isness is full and complete. Is a whole. The totality of isness is never less than that. It's always the totality of isness. And that never can be taken away from us or given to us. It is what we are. It is what we are. So, in our life, when we are flowing, we're easy, when we are operating from a place of openness, there is wisdom and intelligence. We flow effortlessly, and when a situation arises that says, "Oh, it's this way," it flows this way. When a situation arises that says, "Oh, stop," we stop. And then something opens this way. So in life, we are not doing anything. It appears to us. It appears to us, maybe I call my mother today, oh, maybe tomorrow. Maybe I have to do something, maybe I'll call her Tuesday. Yeah, I'll call her Tuesday. Boom. Yep, one thought makes a decision. The thought says, I'm call her Tuesday. Boom, I call her Tuesday. You see, it's that way. It's not coming from I have to make an important choice, and if I don't make the right choice, some negative consequences will happen. That model is a model that is not flowing. It's not flowing. It's coming with this, it has a condition. You have a condition. When you have a condition, you're trying to preserve something. You're trying to preserve something that is false. In the moment I act, in the moment I see a little child falling on the ground, I help the child to get up. In the moment, I don't have an agenda. I am going to help the children that fall on, No, I don't have an agenda. I don't know. In the moment, I see an old man who is crossing the street and he's having a hard time. I say, can I help you, sir? You say, in the moment. Or in the moment, I see and I feel, oh no, I see the man wanting some help, but I have something really important and he's okay. I go in a different direction in the moment. So it's different from having to protect something, an image, an idea, a belief. No. It's alive in the moment. And for the body, we also relax the body. We live and we notice sometimes the contraction in the body. So relax the body. It's okay, you can relax. Sometimes I'm doing some activities and I feel a tension in the body. So say, okay, relax, But not a good or bad, not just good or bad, no good or bad. Just there isn't a particular way that this is it, you see, because it is limiting. It is more fluid. And it's okay to sometimes have some issues with some things. Sometimes we have some issue. Okay, it's okay. Fine. Because in a way, our conditioning, it doesn't like that dissolve. There are some things that take a little longer to relax, you see. I find it's very helpful not to carry a particular image. Sometimes we do something and we feel guilty. We carry it with us. Oh, I shouldn't have, why did I, and so on. We make more of an image, you see. I find it's more helpful to, okay, fine, I acted maybe a little stupid. Okay, fine, you see. It's not to carry the image, you see. So in life, there are so many ways to be and to explore that are in line with the flow, with the understanding of the totality
Yes, it's very clear, very, very clear. I have here from Ramana Maharshi. It's exactly what you told me now. Realize your pure being. Let there be no confusion with the body. The body is the result of thoughts. The thoughts will play as usual, but you will not be affected.
Yes. Yes.
And I had this all the time now, the last 3 weeks, and I always had it in front.
Yes.
And now you explained it very, very, very beautifully.
Yes.
And in fact, I know this is all inside. I know this, whoever I am.
Yes.
But it is only forgotten sometimes.
Yes.
It is, like you say, going into this little shape and then, ooh.
Yes. 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 I know. Yes. You know, the more we love the light, the more it sort of opens, you know. So it's the direction. The direction is as long as you are your attention is towards the truth, towards the love, towards the harmony, towards universal love, is good direction. It's good direction, and it just starts to shine more and more in you, through you, in how you act, how you talk, how you listen, how you share. Yes, it's so good.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
It was very helpful.
Yeah. Beautiful, and very, very lovely.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. Umer, you wanted to share something, Umer?
Yes, Magdi.
Yes.
I wanted to know about, you told me that it is perceiving as awareness, which is actually our practice of the direct path. It is what we engage in to, reach the truth. But I now want to know, what is it that is actually perceiving as awareness? Is it awareness itself, or is it the attention function of our human mind?
So there is whatever perceives is that which perceives right now. It's always the same perceiver, which is I. I awareness, I consciousness, I presence, whichever way you want to call it. It's always I that is perceiving. Now, in terms of the mind, meaning thought, the process of thoughts, where we put our attention, for example. Once we understand that there is a light in the tunnel, and the light is in that direction, meaning the direction of awareness, the direction of consciousness, the direction of love, the direction of peace, the direction of the encompassing the whole. Once we understand that, then we invite ourselves, meaning we invite our mind to go along. In other words, when a thought arises that says, I want to get the best deal and to heck with everybody else, when that thought arises, then we have the capacity, because of our understanding about universal love, we have the capacity to say to ourselves, that is not the right direction. That is not the right direction. The right direction is not to follow this path, is not to follow this path, is not to feed the wrong habit. So yes, there is a certain aspect of the sadhana, of the practice, of the path, where we are actively engaged in inviting our mind or training our mind or encouraging our mind not to proceed in the wrong direction. The I that is encouraging the mind not to proceed in the wrong direction is consciousness.
So we are perceiving everything as consciousness, but
The perceiver, there's one perceiver.
right, there's one perceiver always, and that perceiver is, which is awareness, is perceiving everything as awareness, but there is no prior perceiver perceiving that perceiver because there is nothing before awareness, right?
Right. Whatever
So
is before
yeah,
awareness, that's awareness. I mean, whichever
yeah.
way you go before, at some point you arrive to the ultimate, to the absolute, to that which is I awareness. Now, and that is validated by our experience moment by moment. We have a validation in our experience, in our life, that I is, I am, and I perceive, and I know that I am.
And that is because this perceiving aspect is not that impossible. It's not that hard to see.
To
It's
what?
available. It's not that hard to see. It's available all the time, right?
Well, you look for yourself.
I mean, it is right now.
Have you ever experienced not being?
No.
Okay.
So it's easy.
Yes, it is easy. It's not so complicated to come to
I know. I'm an
understanding
experienced user, so
that
yeah. The sadhana is easy. But what gets harder is when we get involved with the human mind and the worldly affairs. Then we think that the sadhana is hard.
Well, the thing is, once you realize that I refers to awareness and that this awareness is your reality, because it's always there, you always go there and say, am I? Yes, I am. Am I aware? Yes, I'm aware. Once you realize that, you have on your side the trump card, you have in your hands God's hands. So the mind, the life, this is happening to me, that's not happening to me. All this is like the candle, the light of the candle. It has the power of the candle as compared to the power of the sun, which is consciousness.
So this is why sometimes
we make a big deal out of ignorance. We make a big deal of it. And because we make a big deal of it, it feels like it is a big deal. You don't need to make a big deal of it. You need to make a big deal of that which is a big deal, which is consciousness.
So, for example, imagine this. Imagine there is an advanced race of alien civilization, and it is so advanced that their worldly affairs are so basic that they don't even make a big deal out of awareness, out of this sadhana like we do. And to them, it is so easy to perceive everything as just the perceiving aspect that they're actually shocked to find out just how much trouble we have with this basic sadhana. So, what do you think about that?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Sounds accurate, right? So, and right then, why does it take me like 5 to 10 minutes to get stabilized in this position of perceiving, of observing? that doesn't make any sense, right? Because you said it is about as powerful as the sun, and the momentary world is about the size of a candle. So why does it take
Well,
me
you
5
know,
to 10 minutes?
this 5 to 10 minutes is like, let's say that you are in bed dreaming that you are a butterfly, and you are a butterfly that's flying from field to field to field, and you've been flying all day. It's like it's been 5-6 hours you're flying, and you wake up and you say, God, why does it take me 5 or 6 hours of flying to realize that I am the dreamer? When you say, why does it take me 5 or 10 minutes, whatever, until I realize I am awareness, it's the same thing. It's like the butterfly saying, the butterfly, you wake up and the butterfly says, why did it take me 5 or 6 hours of flying from flower to flower to flower to flower, 500 flowers, until I realize that I am the dreamer? Your question assumes that the butterfly is the one that awakens. And secondly, is the butterfly, the time that the 5 and 10 minutes is the butterfly time. But in consciousness, in awareness, in you, the dreamer, there is no time. You did not spend 5 or 6 hours as a butterfly. You did not.
Even so, even so, if I were to, like you say, encourage myself to perform the sadhana on all aspects of reality, like working, walking, eating, even so, then, like in a computer code, there needs to be a starting function to, set the sadhana in motion.
Well,
So it's not like I have a choice.
you have the starting function, which is consciousness, awareness. You're aware, right? You hear these words, right?
Right.
Okay.
But
So
it's not spontaneous.
you have the starting function. You are the starting function.
No, but there needs to be an intention behind it for it to run.
You cannot be Umer and as Umer awaken to your true nature. Umer is what you imagine yourself to be. Umer is the name of the body, is an experience that you're experiencing, that you're perceiving. So when you go back to as Umer and you say, well, how can I, Umer, have a starting function? The starting function is consciousness. It is a reality of consciousness.
Like how Nisargadatta and Ramana always agreed that you at least have to have some interest in truth, in contemplation, to actually, start your practice. Otherwise, you're just going to be like the 7 billion people out there.
Well, you do, otherwise you wouldn't be here.
Yeah, but that is not enough. You also have to put in even more effort to brave yourself enough to perceive everything as awareness.
Well, okay, if you feel that you need to put greater effort, go ahead and put greater effort. But I would just tell you that which perceives itself as awareness is awareness itself. Awareness knows itself. I just want to make that little comment. But whatever effort that you feel that you need to exert, then go ahead and exert it. Just exert it in the right direction.
Right, and after that, like I said, after those 5 or 10 minutes of right effort, then I see that awareness was knowing itself already, and it didn't require that much effort. And all I had to do was just, perceive. And it was already perceiving. It was even perceiving even before I was attempting to do anything. Yet,
It's more of a recognition. It is simply a recognition, recognizing that.
Yeah, a recognition.
That which I am, that which is awareness. It's
so all these non-dual teachers who keep saying that it is not dependent on the body-mind, nothing at all. I still think that it is somewhat dependent on the body-mind. Otherwise, like you said, we wouldn't be here in the satsang.
Well, the thought that arises to you that says awareness is dependent on the body-mind is the only basis upon which you make the statement that awareness is dependent on the body-mind. In the absence of the thought that says awareness is dependent on the body-mind, here you are, aware. Awareness is. So to say that awareness is dependent on the body-mind is equivalent to comparing apples and oranges. Say, well, apples and oranges, they're both fruit. They both depend on a tree, on a fruit tree. Both the orange and the apple depend on some tree. But awareness and the body-mind are not on the same level. The body-mind is on the level of phenomena. Awareness is not on the level of phenomena. It's not apples and oranges. Phenomena is that which appears to you, appears to awareness. They're not on the same level. The mirror and the image that appears on the mirror are not on the same level. The mirror remains. The image comes and goes. Whatever.
To cut you short, I just think that it is because I'm still heavily identified with the body mind and its processes, which is why I think that I need to have 5 to 10 minutes of quiet time.
Sure. Absolutely. So if those 10 minutes are helpful for you, definitely use them, to relax your identification with the body mind. Absolutely. Whatever, is helpful takes you in the right direction. The body mind it's an instrument. It's like some people identify with their car. They identify with their car. And the car is an instrument. And some people identify with their pet. So there are all sorts of identification. But yes, the most common candidate for identification is what we refer to as the body-mind, which is something that appears to us. The body-mind appears to us as sense.
It's like when you said using a thorn to remove a thorn. Isn't it like that? Because you're using the body-mind to remind yourself to be aware that you are the perceiver, and then you take it off from there. So it's like using a thorn to remove a thorn, like they say in Zen, isn't it?
That which perceives is always awareness. The body-mind is perceived, it does not perceive. It is conceived and perceived. It does not conceive, nor does it perceive. So the body-mind, the way you use the body-mind, you use the mind to understand. So you invite yourself to come to the satsang, or you read the words of the sages to try to bring into the mind the correct understanding. For the body, you bring the body to relax, to rather than to resist and contract, you invite the body to move closer and closer towards whatever the experience is, rather than hiding itself away. In the body, there's a lot of resistance at the feeling level.
So now that you mentioned that fact, when you attain sahaja, I mean, when your awareness realizes true nature, did that also occur on the body level, or did it only occur on the awareness level?
Sahaja refers to the ultimate state, if you want to use the word state, where both.
Let's use the word understanding. Let's use the word understanding. When you had the permanent final understanding.
There are many understandings. The
final one, the ultimate one.
Ultimately, Sahaja refers to both the body and the mind being aligned with the universal non-dual reality. So the mind has the wisdom of consciousness, and the body is the universal body. It's no longer a personal body with a particular shape and form.
Right, because you were talking about that, and I just happened to think that if awareness had the realization that it was not the body mind, it was the awareness all along, but the body mind didn't cooperate with that, didn't align itself with that, wouldn't there be sort of a clash of two realities? It can be two. It would only be one.
Yes.
You can't say that there is a Magdi and awareness. There is only one.
Right. So there is the understanding about universality of consciousness, and then yes, there is the work of living and embodying this understanding. Yes. Yes.
So the body mind eventually
that's essential for the establishment.
So the body mind eventually comes to agree and realize that even the body mind is
no, the body mind doesn't agree or realizes anything. It's sort of it is released. It is how do you say? It is as if when it's like the light of the light of consciousness dissolves within the mind all the beliefs of ignorance, and within the body all the feelings of ignorance. It is not that the body mind realizes anything. It is the light of consciousness, the universal understanding, the universal reality that washes out of the body the me feeling, and out of the mind the I belief.
So I'm at a stage.
The mirror does not clean itself.
Right, right.
The mirror does not clean itself.
So to clarify that, I'm at a stage, as you know, in my practice where I see that I am awareness. I know that I am awareness, and yet the identification with the body mind, or as you call it, the ignorance of the body mind, is still there. It's not dissolved. That's why I mentioned about the clash of two realities. They cannot be two. They can only be one. They
Yes.
can't both be a Magdi and an awareness behind
Yes.
a Magdi. They can
Right.
only be one
So,
reality.
so you need to accept the body mind, meaning thoughts, sensations, feelings, perceptions. You need to accept them as being how awareness is choosing to appear this moment. And that whatever is appearing to you doesn't refer to your reality. If you perceive an oak tree, you are not the oak tree. If you perceive a thought, you're not the thought. The oak tree that you perceive does not know anything about you. It doesn't know anything about awareness. The thought that appears to you doesn't know anything about awareness. So the thought that says you are not enlightened, it's saying a lie because it doesn't know anything about awareness. It doesn't know anything about you. Only when you believe that thought, you say, yo, the thought is saying I'm not enlightened, therefore I am not enlightened. When you believe that the thought knows something about you, at that moment, you have fallen into ignorance. You have fallen into into you, and nobody is forcing you to believe that thought. I perceive all sorts of thoughts, like we all do. But the thought that says something about you, how can a thought or a feeling or an emotion say anything about you while it is an object that you perceive, and the object that you perceive doesn't know anything about that which perceives? That which perceives is not known by that which it perceives. You follow?
Yeah, you're talking about not taking it personally. Because
No,
if
no, I'm not
you,
talking about not taking it personally. I'm talking about not believing, not about
yeah, not believing it from a
having
personal
having
sense.
having clarity that there is nothing that can know you. Nothing can know you. Only you know yourself as I am, as being. Whatever the words, awareness, or I know I am. I know something is. I know there is a reality.
So let's
Period.
take a practical example, okay? Say somebody important to me criticizes me, and I take that personally because, well, I've been taking it personally my entire life. We all have. What am I supposed to do in that situation? Am I supposed to, like you said, remind myself that I'm not this person who is taking this personally, but I'm just awareness, so
Yes,
it shouldn't matter to me.
they are criticizing the body mind.
They're criticizing
The body mind. They are criticizing the body mind. They're criticizing the body mind, which we call Magdi. They're criticizing something that they perceive. Now,
yeah. That's why I
that's the
mentioned about
understanding. So the understanding is that that which they are criticizing is something that they're perceiving or conceiving. So that's the understanding. Now, in life, if you are working in a company and your boss or your person who works in the next office criticizes you, and it has an impact upon your work, it may have an impact but upon your income or whatever, and the criticism you feel is incorrect, then you will respond to that. Because at that level, at the level of world, at the world level, you meet that criticism at that level. So you say, well, maybe there is a misunderstanding. Can we meet and talk about it? Or why are you criticizing me? There may be some misunderstanding. I don't see it this way. So it makes sense in the world to operate in real time as the situation is unfolding. But in terms of the deeper understanding, when somebody tells me, Magdi, you're really stupid, you say a lot of nonsense, I say, okay, it's possible. Because all body minds are imperfect. All body minds, I may have meant something and spoke with not the complete clarity. And as a result, it's possible that what I actually said, maybe not what I meant, was stupid. Or it is also possible that sometimes I was getting upset about something and I said something stupid. Okay. So yeah, I'm open to that.
No, but I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about us. So I said, if let's say if I'm practicing sadhana is going well, too well, everything is going excellent, but I am impacted on a personal level. This is, I mentioned the word personally, that somebody criticizes me and I take it personally, and that throws me out of my sadhana and back into ignorance as a me. That means that I was not being, I never actually addressed this issue, and which is why it got to me.
Well, there are different possibilities. At the moment that somebody criticizes you and it hits a mark, it actually hurts your feelings. At that moment, you are identified as the body mind. You're identified as whatever it is that people were criticizing. So yes, you need to comprehend that at that moment of suffering, there is identification. Also, it is possible that when somebody criticizes you and you got your feeling hurt, it may refer to some unresolved issues. Maybe there is something that you feel within yourself that you have not resolved yet. And when they criticize you, they may be pointing to that aspect of yourself which you recognize. If you are sincere with yourself, if you recognize it as an unfinished business. And in that case, it would make sense for you to turn your attention to that unfinished business.
Yeah, but we cannot attend to every matter of criticism. For example, if somebody is very stubborn or slightly stubborn, even if something is wrong and it's brought up, he will not acknowledge that. So it's best to ignore those things and just move back to contemplation, because it all depends on you as a person, how well you take your criticism and how well you work with it. But if you work with your sadhana, then it doesn't depend on your person. It just depends on, well, awareness itself. So I just think that
there are many options.
Well, that will be all for today, Magdi. Thank you.
Okay, Umesh. Any questions? Hey, Holger. Hello, Holger.
Hello, Magdi.
Yes.
And thank you for the satsang. It feels very rich and generous. Generous is a good feeling. And there's a feeling of unworthiness somewhere on my side, connected with this idea maybe of the need to struggle in life or to accomplish things, and not just to yeah, it's just generosity. It's just it's amazing to
well, Holger, nothing comes to you if it's not meant and appropriate and the right time for it to. So a fruit on a tree that is ripening and at some point it falls off the tree would not say, I'm not worthy to. It's all just, unfolding in a certain order. And there are no accidents. It's all interconnected. It's all in perfect order. So the thought that about unworthiness or is still a thought that's referring to a particular fruit on the tree that doesn't comprehend that all the fruits on the tree and the earth and the sunshine and the rain and gravity and the galaxy, it's all interconnected. That this fruit is not apart from the distant galaxies and the supernovas in distant realms, it's all interconnected. Once we understand that, and we are the reference, the personal reference, somehow it expands into sort of the cosmic reference. So I am this cosmic realm that I don't know what I am, but we say cosmic realm as a way of speaking to refer to the wholeness, to refer to the non-duality, to Advaita. So I am Advaita, I'm the non-duality, the non-dual, whatever, So there isn't a personal reference. And when I say the personal becomes cosmic, I don't mean that now there is a new reference, I'm cosmic, I don't mean it that way. I mean that the personal is the universal.
So it's just another game, maybe, for the identity to still have something to hide behind.
Yeah, it could be, or just
whatever.
It could be just an echo from the old model. It is the old. It would be the old identity trying to hide itself, but maintaining itself. If this thought gets a life, it becomes more voluminous, more, but passing thought about not being worthy. Who is it that is not being worthy? In fact, consciousness, that the conversation about worthiness or unworthiness doesn't apply to God, to truth, to the universe. That's more in the realm of measurement, judgment, or that's not the correct. So I wouldn't pay attention to that.
Okay, great.
You know.
Thank you.
And that which you are cannot be defined. It's not, cannot be referenced to by a thought or by a feeling.
It's just interesting how I still always listen to the thoughts. I mean, how I still buy into them.
In the thought, whenever there is a reference in the thought up to I, it is a false reference.
Mm-hmm.
Only when a thought arises as love, it's the right reference.
Wonderful. I think, yes, thank you. Makes sense.
Okay, Holger. So, thank you all. Very lovely to be with you. Mina, lovely to be with you and share your question. Holger.
Thank you also.
Yes.
Very much.
Umer. Okay. And Charlie, John. And hey, Frank. And George. Nice haircut, George. I like it. And Kelly. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Magdi.
Okay.
Thank you, Magdi.
Thank you.